Hey, what's up, YouTube? Well, I'm here to do a review on my HTC EVO 4G LTE. It's been a month since I had this phone, and as if you noticed through my last videos, my unboxing of the phone and the unboxing of this OtterBox, basically it's been that time. So this is my little mini review of what I think of the phone so far. One thing's for sure, the phone is great. I have no issues with productivity or whatsoever. Basically, to me, it is the best phone out there because its resolution, its video playback, the way it takes pictures, the way it does video is awesome. What I am having issues with is connectivity. As you can see, I have 2 bars on my cell reception, and this is an issue with HTC. I think they need to update their firmware or their baseband, or the way that this phone grabs its reception, because I'm near a window and I am at the last floor of my building, and basically I have no reception whatsoever. If I go to my kitchen, I basically miss calls because I have this phone in my kitchen, and this is kind of weird because my kitchen is not that far away. It's like about maybe 3 feet away from this window, and it is sad. So basically HTC needs to get on making fixes towards this issue. Now, I called HTC and Sprint about the issue, and so far they tell me that on the HTC side, they tell me that the problem with it is that Sprint is working on their LTE network, and basically the way this phone communicates with Sprint is not up to par, which is kind of sad because Sprint has a very good, or sort of good, cell tower reception, and with other phones I have no issue getting connectivity, but with this phone I have very big issues getting connectivity. So yeah, that's the HTC side. The Sprint side saying that since its LTE network isn't up, the communication between this phone and its network is not very good. So they're telling me that the LTE network will be up by the end of this year in my area, but they're saying it may be a little bit sooner. I know in some areas right now the LTE network is fully working. That's in Chicago, Texas, and I don't know where other else cities, but I'm in New York, as you can see on my little weather thing here. And it's kind of sad that New York wasn't the very first city to get LTE, because it's a very big city. It's overpopulated, and basically we should be getting LTE right now. So that's the Sprint side. The other issue that I'm having is battery life. Now, as of 30 minutes ago, I had this baby charged full, and now it's dying out pretty quick. And this is basically a little bit of my fault, but I could tell you what, if you're having the same issues that I'm having with the battery life, if you go into settings and if you go into power, and as you can see my battery is dying out, if you go into battery use, you get a detail of what's eating your battery. So as you can see, 88% of it is being eaten up by the screen, and this is an issue that HTC has to fix. So as you can tell, like, basically my time using the screen is totaling up to 2 hours 18 minutes. And if I go into the display settings, the auto rotate is on. That kills battery. The animation is on. That drastically kills the battery. And what also kills the battery is the brightness of the screen. So as you can tell, like, I took off automatic brightness and I adjusted it so it's very dim. If you have this on, and if you see, well, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little sensor over here, and that determines on how this screen actually works, like if it should get brighter or it should get dimmer. So that's an issue. So what you should do is kill the automatic brightness and set it to a setting where you can actually see your screen. That improves battery life. Also, what can improve battery life is if you set your sleep to about 30 seconds, or if you're that type of person that likes to use his phone and then goes away for a few minutes and then comes back, have it set to a minute. That actually improves battery life. But I'm a chatter and I like to type, so 10 minutes is good for me. I sometimes use this little button right here. Basically puts my phone to sleep right away. So that's my other issue, the battery life. What can also help improve battery life is if you go to location and turn off GPS satellites. Make sure it's unchecked, because as if you can tell, it says it requires more battery life if you have this on, which kind of doesn't really sound too good, you know. Half the times you really need this on if you really want to call 911 or want to call for help, and basically you can't, because basically this is off. They can't determine where you are because basically you turned this service off. So that's an issue that has to be fixed. So as far as battery life, that's my issue with it. Also, mail synchronization. As you can tell, Hotmail doesn't want to sync properly with this. And I called HTC about it, and they blame Microsoft. Somehow Microsoft is not communicating with this device properly. And there's a lot of HTC EVO users that basically can't get their Microsoft sync. They also told me that Yahoo Mail wouldn't work, but I debunked that. Yahoo Mail does work on this phone. So does Gmail. The only issue I have with it is that Microsoft doesn't want to sync. So they have to really get their gear up together and stop blaming people and start fixing this phone. It's brand new. I mean, all you gotta do is just put your text to work and basically focus more on this phone than the previous phones. So that's my other issue, that the mail synchronization for Hotmail doesn't really want to work. Another thing is the Google Play Store. Now, the Google Play Store doesn't really want to tell me whether I have an upgrade towards an application that I have on my phone. I would either have to go into my settings, my apps, and go over here. That way I can get a little detail whether or not I have an upgrade to my applications. Now, this issue is caused by this application that comes with the phone already. But if you upgraded it through the Play Store, basically it's this app, Facebook. Now, I don't know whether to blame Facebook or the Play Store or HTC. But when I'm logged into the Facebook network, my notifications don't really want to display. Once I log off the Facebook network, I'll get a little notification telling me that I have an application update and that I should go into the Play Store to actually upgrade my application. So this is kind of weird. Now, Facebook already comes with the phone, but once you upgrade it to the Play Store, like, you know, you go into the Play Store and you get the upgrade to the application, all notifications stop working. Well, not all, just the Play Store applications notifications stop working. So that's my other issue. My last issue comes with either, it's basically one big problem. The keyboard. The HTC Sense keyboard, it's not very good. Now, as you can see, I have very fat thumbs. And this is a very big screen. I have no issues typing on an iPhone. But with this phone, I have very big issues typing. I don't know what's wrong with it, but basically the buttons are too small. Second of all, the HTC Sense dictionary sucks. It doesn't let me use profanity, and its prediction of what I really want to type is horrible. So whenever I type in a word, and say for instance my fat thumbs decide to punch random buttons, HTC Sense decides that it can predict my next word, which really doesn't help because it ruins my sentence of what I really want to type. And then I would have to retype the whole sentence over, or retype the word that I misplaced, or what HTC Sense decided to put in instead of what I wanted to type. So that's a very big issue, and I think HTC should look into the keyboard. So again, I don't have problems typing with the iPhone, and it's kind of sad that the iPhone is very small compared to this phone, because I've actually did my comparison. If you look into my unboxing of this phone, I put in comparison the iPhone with this phone, and this phone eats the iPhone, and I could type a lot better with the iPhone than this. So HTC needs to get its gear together and really put their focus onto fixing this phone, because it's very upsetting that, you know, the phone is great and all, but I can't really use it. So those are my main issues with the phone. You know, the battery life, the keyboard, the reception, and the notifications. Also the mail synchronization, and the fact that basically the LTE network isn't up and running. Now, I live in New York City, and I thought the LTE network was supposed to come here first. But no, Sprint decided to unleash the LTE network in Chicago, Texas, and I don't know what other state, and left New York behind. Now, it's kind of sad that with my Samsung Galaxy S2, I'm able to get 4G. With Sprint, I'm still stuck on 3G. And they're saying that the 3G is pretty good, but I don't like it. I'd rather have 4G. So those are my basic issues with the phone. And as far as everything else goes, it's a great phone. I like the video playback. I like the way it takes pictures. I also love the way it does videos. Just that the LTE network isn't up, and it's working at half its potential. Now, as you can see in this benchmark review, on the top is my phone. These are the other phones and devices that compare to it. And as you can see, the HTC One X is just a little bit behind my phone, but it's still a powerful phone, just that it's a little bit unusable. Alright, YouTube, so those are my issues, and if you're also facing these issues, leave a comment below. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you would tell HTC to fix on this phone if you have it. And if you don't, I wouldn't discourage you to get this phone. I would still get it, because it's a very great phone. It has a 4.8 4.7-inch display. Has a 1.5 megapixel camera in the front, 8 in the back. Has a cool kickstand. And it's a great phone. So, thanks YouTube for watching. Again, comment, like, or subscribe.